three of our subjects there, didn't we? Steve's in Woolwich. How are you, Steve?
Hello there. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. Just take me back, because I'm interested in leaseholders, relationships with the people who own the lease. So take me through your story, Stephen.
Okay, well, I bought my flat in Royal Artillery Quays in Woolwich 6 years ago, and my relationship's really around the service charge, because that's the most painful part. So it worked out as about $3,000 a year, which we paid to a management company that's well known. And basically, as a result of serious fire issues with the cladding on our flats, it went up to 6,000.
Which came to... Well, hold on a minute. Just stop for me. Serious problems with the cladding, which came to light when?
It came to light in 2018, where the management company then installed a large number of waking watch. I think we had about 10. And it basically came to 1.5 million quid. And the developer admitted to issues with compartmentation, which is a fire stopping procedure which they needed to remediate, which they did to their credit. However,
which means there's a fire. I just want to make sure everybody's with us. Yeah. Which means that if there's a fire, you could stay contained within your pod and be safe, which is what they were told at Lacanal, which is what they were told at Grenfell.
Yeah, so there was a bill for the waking watch and the compartmentation issues for 1.5 million quid. Now, the developer promised to pay that to us residents to go into our service charge. So we didn't have a £6,000 service charge, but it went down back to 3,000. Now, they have since withheld that because they're trying to force... they refused to pay for a £13 million cladding bill that they want to put on all of us. Now, these are indicative prices sent to us from the management company, and we're absolutely terrified. So not only are we paying double the service charge because the developer are deliberately withholding the money, they are also trying to push a £13 million indicative cladding bill, and it's indicative. We don't even know what the final amount is yet. So we're in terror here. And the problem we've got now is the Building Safety Fund for the type of cladding we have has been oversubscribed. It's only got £1 billion in it for non-ACM cladding. And the problem here is that over 3,000 have applied, 3,000 developments, which means there's only enough roughly for about 400. So Robert Jenrick's fund is going to let down quite a lot of very worried people. And if we're let down, our lovely management company has made us legally liable via the Section 20 process for 30 million quid. 30 million pounds. And Barratt are withholding 1.5 million pounds on top of that.
You think they're waiting for because we had a story like this from Croydon. You think they're waiting on government to give aid and assistance? Do you think they think there's a pot of money at some point that must come from Robert Jenrick or wherever?
Yeah, there's £1 billion promised by the government.
Yes.
But it's a token amount because you need about 3,000 developments to be covered, and it will be a lot more than £1 billion. Now, the question is, why did the developers who profited from installing completely unsafe, highly flammable cladding, why are they not contributing to the public funding via a levy on previous and future profits? And why did the cladding manufacturers, who made 100% profit from selling flammable firelighters to put on our buildings, not contribute from their profits too?
Is the place safe for now?
No, it's very dangerous. We're living in a very, very unsafe building with waking watch, which we're paying a huge amount for, and no remediation. If someone lit this cladding up, we could have another Grenfell on our hands. Wow. And just so you know, we did have a fire alarm very recently in the last month, and 4 fire engines turned up. And I said, that's a bit extreme, just for one tower block. And they said, well, you know why. And we do know why.
And we all know why. And the problem is that with Tier 2, which is what we're in now, and Tier 3, and the stories that I've brought you, and, you know, it's not just Germany and France. I'm looking at Poland. I'm looking at Italy. I'm certainly looking at mainland Spain. the trajectory seems to be in one direction, and you really over Crimbo, you can't have more than five people over if they're not already in your bubble, and if we've got some kind of lockdown over Christmas and you're in that house, which sorry, our building. Which has that cladding on it. You can see where we're going with this. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of anxiety amongst people with it. Uh, Thank you for talking to me, Steve. As I say, one of the things about this subject is it seems to be one of those problems with so many loopholes and